Let's start with a question. Have you noticed the number of atheists seems to be increasing? At least it seems that way in America to me. And we all know that not everyone chooses to believe that God exists. Key word there, it's a choice. Let me give you 3 examples, people you've heard from. First, Karl Marx. He said, quote, "Everyone believing in God must have a mental disorder that caused invalid thinking," end quote. Sigmund Freud wrote, quote, "A person who believed in a creator God was delusional and only held those beliefs due to a wish fulfillment factor that produced an unjustifiable position," end quote. And Friedrich Nietzsche bluntly said that, quote, "Faith equates to not wanting to know what is true," close quote. As I said, not everybody believes in God. Now, as Christians, we would want to refute that and immediately go right to the Bible for proof, which is what we should do. For all of life's questions, we should go to the Bible to get the truth from God. But for this purpose, let's ask the question, is there a logical case for the existence of God outside of the Bible? That's where you might need to start with some people. 4 options. The first one is that reality is nothing more than an illusion. Think of popular movies in recent years, The Matrix, The Adjustment Bureau, The Truman Show, where everybody thought that reality was just an illusion. In each show, there was someone somewhere else that was controlling everything. Many Eastern religions believe this. The French mathematician René Descartes, he said, quote, "I think, therefore I am." Meaning that, well, if I can think, obviously I must exist. So that kind of defeats argument number 1, that reality is an illusion. Number 2, reality is self-created. But you see, something cannot be prior to itself, so it cannot create itself. Some believe that creation just happened, that something spontaneously came from nothing. That requires a lot more of what we'll call blind faith. The complexity of our world, ecology, biology, the physics, the beauty and the order of it all are just overwhelming. How can anyone think such complex things and order just happen spontaneously and out of nothing? Doesn't work. So we're left with 2 viable options. Either there was an eternal universe or an eternal creator. Now, we already know from science that the universe had a definite beginning. Therefore, the only option left is an eternal creator. Philosopher J.S. Mill, not a Christian, he said it this way, quote, "It is self-evident that only mind can create mind. The only rational and reasonable conclusion is that an eternal creator is the one who is responsible for reality as we know it," end quote. 18th century theologian Jonathan Edwards said it this way, 3 bullet points, very good. Number 1, something exists. Number 2, something cannot come from nothing. And 3, therefore an eternal something, i.e. God, exists. So if you combine Edwards' summary with the 4 options that we worked through before and push them together, you get a nice 6-step argument. Number 1, something obviously exists. Number 2, you don't get something from nothing. 3, therefore a necessary and eternal something exists. The only 2 options are an eternal universe or an eternal creator. Science and philosophy have disproven the concept of an eternal universe since it in fact had a definite beginning. Therefore, the logical conclusion of the argument is that an eternal creator must exist. To believe otherwise is a choice. In the next video, we're going to talk about the same question, but we're going to come at it from a different perspective. What does God say? We're going to look for answers to the question in His Word.